Hi and welcome to the Review Tuesday. My name's Ruben and this is my review for The Owners. A group of friends think they find an easy score at an empty house with a safe full of cash, but when the owners and elderly couple come home early, the tables are suddenly turned. So from the director of The Forest, or a few episodes of Osmosis on Netflix, this is the same director who obviously directed that. Actors of note in this, Maisie Williams and Sylvester McCoy. Obviously Sylvester McCoy was one of the doctors from Doctor Who, and I thought he was excellent in this. This is quintessential British indie thriller, and they do it well. It doesn't try and do anything more than it isn't. It doesn't try and go big or lavish. It's all centered in this house. Reminds me of similar American films like Panic Room, not quite to that level, but it has a similar premise, I think. Yeah, it's pretty much some youths, some hooligans, as I guess that would be called in England, go into this house to try and get a score. They want to change their lives. They don't like this town, and there's something that they need, like a safe that they need to get the money out, and everything will be fine. Obviously, things don't quite work out that way, and this is when the film gets really interesting. Maisie Williams has been doing fantastic roles. I think whoever her agent is just knows, since Game of Thrones, she's been picking these really quirky films, really indie series, and they just are really working for her. I really am enjoying her work. Her screen presence is perfect. Her role as the girlfriend that kind of gets stuck or thrown into the situation, I think, works very well. Sylvester McCoy's presence, as always, but still is fantastic. He plays this elderly gentleman with his partner who live in this house, and they come home to hooligans. And I don't want to give too much away, too many spoilers, but as you can imagine, there are some twisty things in this film, which I really enjoyed. For the most part, you will guess what's going to happen, and then there'll be some you're like, well, I didn't see that coming, which is a lot of fun. The thing that works in this film is its sustained threat, or its sustained thriller presence and tone, without even getting to that point where it is thriller and presence and tone. So what I mean by that, they create an atmosphere. So they're in the house, they're doing the heist thing. The music suggests it's all fine, but there's always a sustained threat of, what is this film about? What more is there? It can't just be about this. What's going to go wrong? So you have that in the back of your mind. And as time progresses, you start realizing there's much more going on, which is always fun. And then as a viewer, you're trying to work out stuff that's happening before the film lets you know. And the film does let you know, but it only lets you know really late on into the film. So you're guessing, you're trying to be that fly in the wall, but also that detective, which I really enjoyed. I think the story as a whole is contained. I don't think everybody will enjoy this. I, for one, loved it. Maybe it's because I live in the UK. I'm pretty much British myself now. And I loved how they used some of the quirky language from the characters, exactly how you'd expect them to be. You have the variations of really nasty to innocent British characters, and then you have these elderly people that you expect them to be, but there seems to be something underneath the surface, something else going on. And when that's all revealed, you're like, oh my gosh. It is very thrillery, very intense. You may be sitting yourself backwards a few times or on the edge of your seat going, oh my gosh. So it's not quite horror, but it's tense. And so when the music gets to that crescendo, it's only because that is now happening in the story, rather than the music and the score trying to be a character on its own and thrust the viewer and the audience forward. It is part of that, and I think that lends itself to a really great edit. So the pacing throughout this film just feels right. It doesn't outstay its welcome. The actors in this are doing a great job. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a tidy little film. I don't think it's going to blow you away. It doesn't change the genre, but this is quintessential British indie thriller film that I think one day, if you're looking for something to watch, you're going to download it on a streaming service. Comes out mid-February to download, and then to own in March, I think, sometime. I think you could do much worse than finding this little indie Brit film that has heart in the way it's made, but doesn't change up the genre. Not that you can these days, because there's been so many like this. It is fun. I saw another British film on Amazon recently called Get Duped, which I really enjoyed, but I really did enjoy this one. I've seen a few reviews from this which suggest that people haven't actually watched the film through, because they said, that the main bad, vile bad guy was really vile and bad. That's one particular review. Then I realized, because they were talking about one of the hooligans, they actually hadn't watched the film through. So yeah, I don't know what reviewers are playing at today, but give the film its due. Don't just watch the first half an hour and go, is this it? There's much more to the story. It's a lot of fun and worth your time. So I'm going to give this a B+. It's not brilliant, it doesn't change the genre, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching this review. Chat to me in the comments below, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.